In today's Legal on 4, dividing a nest egg during a divorce. If you or someone you know has been involved in a divorce, you may have heard the term qualified domestic relations order. For an ex-spouse, that could mean the difference between a secure future and a perilous one. Our legal contributor, Craig Wisnom, joins us now. First of all, Craig, explain to us what a qualified domestic relations order is.
Well,
is there a short way of saying that?
Yes, quadro.
A quadro.
We love our acronyms in the legal field, but a quadro is necessary when someone has a qualified retirement plan. Most commonly a 401k, sometimes a 403b, but a retirement plan with their employer, and they get divorced. And a qualified retirement plan is only in one person's name, the employee.
Right.
And if that's the big asset that has to be divided in the divorce to split up the assets, there has to be a way to divide up that qualified retirement account, and the quadro is the only way to do it. It's the court order which, if it follows certain rules, will divide up that retirement plan and let the ex-spouse get some of the plan put into their name in a retirement plan.
So what happens, let's say, does that also mean if somebody dies?
No. That retirement plans go to the beneficiary when they die. That's a bit simpler, not too much simpler, but you only need this quadro when a couple gets divorced. And as you can imagine, these days about half the divorces out there need a quadro because there's a retirement plan that needs to be divided. For many people, that's where most of their money is, or a good portion of their money is, so it's very important.
Is it only for retirement plans? Can it also be for inheritances?
No, just for retirement plan. It's a very specific thing.
But it's also much more than just dividing dollars, right?
Well, you have to be very specific with these issues. Essentially the way it works is once you figure out in the divorce who's getting what, and for most of those things it's pretty simple. I get the home, put the home into my name. I get this account, put the account into my name. But for a quadro, the quadro is necessary because it's the only way to divide those retirement assets. So once you've already fought out who gets what, this is the way the court orders how that plan can be divided. If it's not done correctly, there's a number of ways it can go wrong. First of all is not being specific enough as to who gets what, and then there either being, a disproportionate distribution later on where you really didn't want one spouse to get all the money, but they did, or for there to be rights that weren't covered in that document. But another thing is with the IRS, if you don't do it right, the IRS can argue, hey, we're going to tax you on all that money like you took it out of the retirement account. That can be disastrous, even when both spouses are on the same page and they're agreeing on how the divorce should go.
So when you sit down with a tax attorney or an attorney to figure out one of these quadros, they'll know all that information. Well, you're not going to have to tell them that.
You're not going to have to tell them, but you need to make sure the attorney understands these well. If your divorce attorney isn't a real expert on the quadros and feels absolutely confident they can do them themselves, then they should bring in one of the experts out there who really knows the thing, because they are a separate field and you've got to get them right.
So maybe that should be a question you should ask right off the top if you have a big retirement.
Absolutely. It's something to address very specifically. That you can even get these online. You do not want to risk your future or your family's future doing it that way. You need the attorney.
All right. Thank you very much, Craig. On the